The other day, a friend of mine sent me a message. How is your project? I haven't got the vaguest clue what he's talking about. We all think we're expert communicators, but the truth is that one way or another, 90% of all communication is unsatisfactory. How many times have you gotten cross because somebody you're talking to doesn't understand? How often have you assumed what someone meant only to look foolish because your assumption was wrong? Shouldn't it have been them looking foolish for not giving you all the information? Imagine the look of horror on my father's girlfriend's face when she saw this sign in G Mall. So let's look at some basics and a few simple ideas that will help us ensure that we get our message across. There's always a transmitter, the person sending the information, and a receiver, the person getting the message. It can be a conversation, delivering a conference paper, or email. Only the transmitter knows the content, and it's always his responsibility to make sure that the other person understood. A communication is a complete thread of signals or messages. It is self-contained and needs no further explanation. Everything the receiver needs is included, with the exception of information in the general knowledge of the listener, but the speaker must confirm this. A communication may be made up of one or more messages or signals. The total number of messages or signals in a communication is always at least n+1. We need at least one more message to confirm that we've been understood correctly. Yes, the speaker has the right to speak, but he has the duty of speaking effectively. We must use words and language that the listeners understand. It's definitely not cool to confuse with jargon nobody understands. One thing we can assume, the content of previous messages and communication is known. Each communication should be timely, relevant, understandable, and complete. As a minimum, a complete communication will tell the listener or receiver the 3 W's of what, why, and when action is required. A communication may contain other details such as reporting instructions and follow-up actions. But critically important is that nothing can mitigate the essential points, which are: firstly, it's the speaker who must ensure that the listener understands. Secondly, include all necessary information or confirm that information omitted is already known. Thirdly, make sure that the communication is timely, contains only the necessary information, and is in the words the listeners can understand. And fourthly, includes the 3 W's. Add one word to our earlier example and everything changes. Try it out for yourself next time you're in a discussion, briefing your staff, writing a report, asking a friend for some information, or talking to somebody on the phone. You'll be astonished by how much less time you have to spend going back and explaining things. English from Afar will help you with these skills, so order your copy now. The world is waiting to hear what you have to say in English.